Hello, everyone, and welcome again to African Bijimba. We're starting again this year, 2026. We have fresh topic to talk about spirituality, about history, about Africa, about education. You can name it. We are here to share our personal experiences in a way for us to promote, to also inspire, and mostly to motivate others out there. I would like to introduce our new guest speaker today is JoePalmist. He's going to take us through a journey of understanding how spirituality is also used in many ways, in many areas in our lives, in a way to guide us, in a way to also keep us connected with the divine forces. Not delaying, let us give him an opportunity to introduce himself and tell us a bit more about himself.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for giving me the opportunity to come here and render service to everybody, to Africa, to the world, and to humanity. My names are Ashe Joseph Vincent. That is my native English name. I'm from Delta State in Nigeria. And my initiation name, because I'm initiated, I am a counselor for spiritual practice. My initiation name is Jayadwaita Das, under the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And I am here by the mercy of Mother Bijimba to render my service and give my input, positive input for humanity growth, materially and spiritually. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, jumping straight into our topic. We always know that we are pushed to become who we want to be, or we are pushed to realize a certain dream, but there is always a certain motivation, or there is a reason behind us following such a journey. So with that said, what motivated you to become a palmist practitioner?
Okay, that is a good question. In life, we are born into this life. This place is a school where from one class we will be promoted if we do well from that class to the next class, till we graduate from life. So I was born in a polygamy home. My father was a Catholic member. My mother practiced Hinduism. I was born in a Catholic home. That is where I got my name, Joseph the Dreamer. And my mother, I lost my father when I was 7 years old. And my mother took me to the temple for the very first time. I'm trying to cut the long story short. Took me to the temple for the very first time in Lagos, Nigeria. The first day I stepped my feet in the temple, I saw a very senior monk who is a celibate. When he saw me, he said, hey, he spoke to my mother. He said, Mother, please, this your son is spiritually inclined. Let him stay in the monastery. Let him stay in the temple. He will school in the temple. We will train him. He will become better of himself. Yes. My mother has no choice because the priests have spoken in different ways. So he saw me. He read my palm as a young boy, 7 years old. He said, you are a palmist. Yes. And your karma, which means your destiny, has brought you to this temple. In this way, you will follow your path to become a better person, to have clarity, to grow in life, to become who you're supposed to become in life.
So, I've just also heard something. You said they claimed you. For me, I would say they claimed you from your arrival at the temple, at the age of 7. And unfortunately for you, your mother didn't have any choice to either accept or to either be part of, maybe fight, and say, no, you cannot do that. So what were the challenges? What were the challenges that you faced being at that time following now these teachings, or they grooming you into becoming a responsible person through your dreams or your purpose? What were your challenges?
No, there are different challenges that come in contact with people who are gifted. Then when I was, let me say, adopted by the temple,
Yes, yes.
one of my challenges was the first day I got to the temple, I realized the dancing, I realized the food. There is, they are vegetarian. Then I was curious. How come? Where is meat? Where is fish? That is my first challenge,
Yeah.
honestly speaking. No fish, no meat, no egg. Everybody putting on robes. Everybody praying on a beat. Everybody putting some sacred mud on the body, which represent the temple of God.
Yeah.
Those are my curiosity as a young boy. So that is where my journey starts, when I start to ask questions. Why are you guys not eating meat? Why are you guys marking your body with different holy mods? Why are you guys having some, kind of dress code, etc.? All answer was given. The body is a temple of God. It must be purified by holy things. How will I put it? That is the first diet God has made for the first man, first woman in Genesis, if I go through the Bible. Not vegetables and grains, water. It was after the flood. God now had to choose the kind of meat and fish, animals we should eat, because there was no vegetable. Flood have destroyed everything. That is where meat start to come into the space, into the diet of human being. I said, okay, that is fine. Okay, why did you dress simple? Oh, you will dress simple because this body, it's just matter of time. We will leave this body, so let us leave it holy, etc., etc. So the second challenge I got as a palmist is, as I was growing up, I started palmistry reading after my master has taught me several crafts in palmistry, because palmistry contains everything about human spiritual diagnosis. Human being spiritual diagnosis, talking about the face, talking about the palm, talking about the feet, talking about the body shape, talking about your body color, talking about behavior, character. It's not just as a palmist, because as a master, then he's a master for all crafts, not just as a palmist. So I was taught, I was empowered, I was, let me say, I was injected with the power to investigate these things. So as a young palmist, at the age of 7 to 8 years old, I started to read people. Some people will come to see my master. My master would direct them to me, because he found out that I have my own genuine way of reading people's challenges, material and spiritual challenges. Let me say spiritual challenges, because your spiritual challenge will reflect in the material realm.
Yes.
So I started to read people. So one of my challenges is, as a young practitioner who has not gotten any experience, there are horrible things I see in people's face and people's palm that gives me sleepless nights. I could not sleep at night. And immediately I will meet my master. Master, this person you direct to me for reading, I saw this, saw this, saw this, saw this. My master will say, oh, you need to chant, you need to neutralize, you need to do cleansing, you need to meditate, you need to pray, you need to fast to neutralize the negative energy. It's just like a magnet magnetizing little metals. So all those energy you have read in the persons, and you have made that person to be aware, their negative energy will fight you back. So these are some of my challenges, honestly.
I see. I understand you. That's a
But
lot.
by the power of the universe, I was able to overcome this and grow with the craft.
Wow. That's a lot. That's pretty much a lot. I guess we all need also to understand. It's just like what you're saying is also like a doctor. You are really a doctor. Someone comes to you, they are sick. You need to check what could be the issues. What had they been feeling, or have they been having headaches? Have they been feeling weak? Then you know what medication would be given to them in a way for them to get better. So that is a beautiful experience, and it shows that you've been in that for quite a long time. And starting at 7, I think yes, that's quite a lot. Because when you're speaking and the way that you're telling me, everything that you're saying is literally someone having a third eye as per my understanding. So maybe I will bring this as maybe those who will be watching who are not Krishna conscious, neither being in your space as a palmist, would you say there is a difference between being the palmist and the difference being a prophet? Because the prophet, when I mean prophet, I mean this spiritual prophet, either it being the African prophets, because we have our own African prophets who are called by different names here in South Africa. Some are called sangomas because they can see things. And then in the religious way, they are called prophet. And then I can see in another way they are, for me, just what I want to understand, is it the same, or would you relate to them, or is there any difference between being the palmist and being a prophet?
All right. That is a very good question. I will say specifically, there is prophecy in palmistry. Palmistry is complete. Now, as a prophet, because apart from being a palmist, my teacher also taught me how to be an exorcist. He also taught me also that being a prophet, you can be influenced by your own disturbing familiar spirit. That simply means I can see you. One of the key power or gift of a prophet is seeing something, seeing somebody and reading that person through their aura, or dreaming about that person, getting information for that person, or getting message from the universe about somebody, community, country, or state. That is prophet. Now, as a palmist cannot be influenced by your familiar negative spirit. Why? Because as a palmist, your craft is specific. It means you must see this person, read this person's face, finalize this person by reading this person's palm and revealing the sacred marks, which we call the manual of everybody in life. Your palm is your manual, just like we have different vehicles, electronics, they come with their manual on how to use it, if there is problem, how to contact the service center, etc. Your palm is your manual. Your palm is your life map. So as a palmist, we read your face. By seeing your face, I have gotten information already. By reading your palm, I've gotten 50% of your information. By seeing your feet, I've gotten all the information of your of you. So you can see the two difference. As a prophet, you perceive aura, you get revelation through the universe, you get revelation through dreams, you get revelation through that person's aura. But as a palmist, you will have to see that person. You are not getting information from the universe. You are not getting information from dreams. You have to see that person specifically, perceive the aura, read this person, read this person's palm if this person permit, read this person's feet if this person's permit. There are some crafts in life that are specific. There's no speculation, because what makes it spiritual science, it simply means if you add salt inside soup, you will know how the soup tastes.
It's true. This is a clear way for me to understand the biggest differences between the palmist and the prophet. And definitely, it also gives someone a way to understand, not just some, but myself. Now I understand that my hand is a map to my life, so you have to go through your map to understand where to turn or how to go about, and where has a prophet is only receiving it in how will I say, being connected to nature, and you are being there at that time with them, then that's how they end up receiving that connection with you. I do understand that, just like you said now, you said you had to go through your spiritual master, so someone that took you through that journey. So he was literally guiding you, teaching you, showing you which way to go and how to do what. Do you think it could be possible? Because, we've met many people with these gifts, and we meet some who says, I was born with it. I don't need a teacher. I don't need a leader or a guide. And, but I can do it because it's within me. So can you become a palmist without having a specific quality or specific needed skills or theories or methods, but you just become a palmist because it's within you? Could there be
All
something
right.
like that?
Yeah, you see, life as it is, we life is balanced because there is good and bad. There is white and black. There is sky, there is earth. There is heaven, there is hell. There are bad people, there are good people. Life must be balanced. So what I'm trying to say here is we have a lot of unbona fide palmists. We have some of them who are bona fide because why? Their karma, their destiny, their purpose in this lifetime that they have come is to be a palmist. And once that is properly defined, the universe will direct you through that path in which you meet masters who can help you awaken this gift you already have inside you.
So you stated a short sentence that you are a palmist because of the karma. So for those who are watching and who don't understand how to what is that karma and how it relates to one's purpose, may you kindly
Mm.
clarify that for us?
Yes, karma, we can say it means destiny. It means fate. A woman give birth to a child today. The child has just one leg. The child is deformed. That is the karma of that soul, of that child. The child might have done something horrible in his or her previous life. So the punishment that he must or she must pay into this new life this child has come, because don't forget, life is a school. This place we are right now is a school. You must learn how to graduate out of this life.
Yes.
If you fail, you'll be born again, just like somebody who repeats class.
Yes.
So karma and destiny and fate, they are the same. Let me put it that way so a layman can easily understand. So if it is your karma, nobody can be Mother Kijimba. Mother, you are you. Joe is Joe.
Yes.
Dennis Mandela was Dennis Mandela.
Yes.
That is the
The
karma.
karma. The
So
karma.
a friend has asked me previously, can karma be swapped? Yes, it can be swapped.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I can
By
send my karma away and buy another karma and,
yes, it can be swapped. That simply means if your karma can be swapped, it's already destined in your karma that your karma will be
be
swapped.
swapped. All right. Now understand. So I learned already so far many things. I understand now the difference of having a dream and when they're saying the chosen one, because in your case, you were literally a chosen one because you came
Mm.
at the temple from the age of 7. They
Mm.
didn't, how will I say, you never had much to say, but you were chosen to follow your
Mm.
path from a very young age. And at the same
Mm.
time, I do now understand the differences between a life purpose and what is karma, and
Mm.
how
Mm.
the way that you placed it is easier for someone to easily understand that karma is literally your life purpose aligned as per your previous lifestyle or your previous experiences, life experiences. No, majority of us, when we're talking of karma, we're thinking that karma is about what you do in the world is what you get back. But we only see it in
Mm.
the now. We only see it in the tomorrow. We don't see it as in
Mm.
the past previous life and how it can
Exactly.
affect your purpose in the current life. So
Yes.
I picked something along your introduction. You stated that you are a Krishna conscious person and also you are the palmist. So, among our African nations, I would say African black people, we have a tendency to say that we cannot follow maybe Krishna because we're doing something that is African or something that is not aligned with the Krishna conscious spirituality or belief, So how would someone in maybe your position, because you have realized yourself, how would someone who is not yet in your position, who is either a healer, who is either a sangoma, who is either you can call or name them. In our African communities, there's quite a lot of things that people do in terms of spirituality. How would you introduce them to following Krishna, to understand who Krishna is, and how to become also Krishna conscious with whatsoever that they have as a karma, I would say?
All right, very good question. It is a global question and also it's an international question.
Yes.
Mother Bijimba, you are
Yes.
blessed with your gift of trying to make a positive input, a true understanding to not just the word,
Yes.
humanity itself. So it's a good thing. You are following your karma.
Yes.
And once our karma is being followed, it shows how much we gain success in a lifetime we have come on earth, which gives us qualification back home, back to Godhead, merging back to your source.
Yes.
In the Christian way, they'll say back to heaven. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So to your question, no matter what we practice, being you Shangoma, being you Ifa priest, being you Krishna conscious devotee, being you Christian, being you Muslim, I will advise. Many of us already know this, but let me say it again. You must follow your spirit. Because time after time, the soul comes into this world, this soul or the spirit being must pass through channels in life, through a specific family, specific country, specific religion, which is belief. God is omnipotent, omnivariety, is everywhere, in and out, is the source of all sources. This simply means that this is why God responds to whatever name you give to it. In Ghana, you call God Onyakopo. In Nigeria, you call God Chineke, Olorun. In my language, you call God Ogene. Different language, you call God. God answers.
Yes.
That is to tell you, God does not key itself to one religion. It key itself to your spirit. So whether you are Krishna conscious, you are a Christian, or you are a Muslim, let us keep this politics. These are political religious sects, but a soul must come through them. In a lifetime, you may not be qualified to be a Christian. Maybe your next life you'll be a good Christian. In a lifetime, you may not be qualified to be a good Muslim. In your next life, you may become a very good Muslim. In a lifetime, you may not be qualified to be a good Hindu or good Krishna conscious devotee. In your next life, you'll be a good Krishna conscious devotee. And once you graduate, your soul becomes free. You have full understanding about life. The point here is we must radiate positive energy, share love to our neighbors, to humanity, to the society, to the world. Love is the original religion of the soul, of the spirit. Every other religion is supposed to teach us how to love one another, despite your religious practices.
That's so true. That's so well said. How to love one
Yes.
another despite of our religion practices, because it's the same as those loving soccer. Soccer is not just played by one country or one team. Soccer is played in many other countries, but in that specific countries, you find also many other team players who are also loving soccer. And as much as we all
Exactly.
love that, does not mean that I cannot love soccer because it is played by a certain group of people. I will still love
Exactly.
soccer and support whatever team that pleases me, but at the same time, I will live at peace with each and every person within my community, outside my community, because we are all called to live with unity under the spirit of Umoja.
Yeah.
Coming almost to the end of our interview, before we just say goodbye to our palmist, whom they call JoePalmist, or I would say his Krishna conscious name, which is Jayadvaita Das Prabhu. So before we just say goodbye to him, we would like to undertake an activity today. I would like him to read my palm, and I'm giving you an opportunity. Everyone have an opportunity to hear about my life as an example, because sometimes we tend to always say, oh, explain to me how you did this or how did you do this. But maybe if he does an example with myself, wherever you are, you will learn from this little experience. Only if he agrees and only if he allows us to undertake the activity, you will also be able to understand what it is about that they call as a palmist practitioner.
All right. So let me see your left palm. Bring it close. Let me see corner of your palm. Like this. Let me see your fingernails. And you have a strong heart to love, but you have been pained. There is pain in your love life, which you have tried to manage. It's as a result of negative energy you inherited from your mother's lineage. There is a goddess in your mother's lineage that must take feast every year. This goddess has been ignored. It is the goddess of financial growth and also fertility. This goddess has been ignored. As a result of that, because of the promises your ancestors or your mothers, grandmothers from your mother's side has made, and now they are not keeping to the promises. So the grandchildren are not going to take the blessings from this goddess. Your lucky day is Sunday. Use Sunday to meditate, to pray, to cleanse, and also to connect inward to yourself. You're supposed to be traveling by now. There's multiple travel line, and at the same time, you have the cross line on your travel. You're supposed to be traveling. There's multiple travel line on your palm, but that negative energy is also affecting your travel line. Please try as much as possible to connect with your ancestors, because you are an ancestor that came again from your father's lineage. You have wisdom to counsel, to guide, to direct.
Most of what you said is pretty much, I would say, aligning with me. Not taking again a lot of your time. That was a beautiful activity. I would love to find from you, what would be your message to Africa?
All right. Thank you very much for asking this important question. Advice. We plead to all African nations to be united, to share love among one another. This xenophobic that is happening in South Africa and other African country, fighting other African country, African as a whole, let us come together to share love. This is the advice I have for everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much again. Thank you so much again for joining us. Thank you so much, JoePalmist. Yes, he's about to leave us, but he has shared such a wonderful journey. From a very young age of being 7 years, he had undertaken the journey to find himself, to find his purpose, and to serve. So he started serving from a very young age, and through that experience, today he is a teacher, he is a leader, he is a guider. He is there for those who are seeking answers and for those who are seeking to be guided. There you go. You've heard it. You can contact him via email or you can find him on TikTok under JoePalmist. He's there to help you. He's there to guide you. And we thank him again one more time for giving us an opportunity to hear from himself, his experiences and his journey as the palmist. This is the end of our interview. And I would like to say thank you to all the viewers who have been there to support us through this journey. African Bishimba is here telling our life stories to empower, to inspire, to motivate, and definitely to help you stand and take action in living your life, in living your dreams, and in living your purpose.